Hey guys, Big Tuna here, and today we're on Marvel Rivals, and we're going to talk about Rocket Raccoon. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Rocket Raccoon, about him being bad and just the worst healer in the game. You've maybe seen the Tap Man crash out on a Rocket one trick.
If you play Rocket, I hope you enjoy him. Genuinely, when you get up to this elo, you are costing SR, period.
I heard some streamers talk about Rocket Raccoon just not being able to perform compared to other healers. You maybe have seen tier lists ranking Rocket Raccoon as the worst, bottom of the barrel. But maybe you've been on Reddit, and maybe you've heard some of the good things people have to say about Rocket. I'm a healer main, so I will try to clear up and give the best answer I can to the question, which is Rocket Raccoon a good or bad healer? Now keep in mind, this is my own experience, my own opinions of how I see Rocket, my own experience playing with Rocket and playing with other Rockets in my own lobbies. You know, comparing them to the games where I play Adam Warlock, where I play Luna Snow, or Cloak and Dagger, or Loki, or Invisible Woman, seeing the difference in those games. You know, how much easier or more difficult were they? You know, how well did they fare against this comp or that comp? How was my overall HPS, my DPS? You know, did I feel like we're winning these engagements or losing these engagements? Stuff like that is what I'm going to be using to influence my pros and cons I'm about to list off right now. So I guess we'll start off with the pros. The pros, start off with a bit of positivity. He can do really good damage. 4 to 5 rounds in the chamber, 16 per shot, and it's a projectile, so you have to lead your shots. But this is nicknamed the Tank Shredder for a reason, kind of on par with the Wolverine. Because you're mostly only going to be able to hit tanks because it's a projectile. Anyone who is very speedy and doesn't really have a large hitbox, like the Black Panther or the Magic or the Spider-Man or the Psylocke, just being able to dart everywhere. Yeah, it's going to be hard to hit those fools. But anyone who's in a 15-meter range, which is most likely going to be the tanks, yeah, you're able to just shred them very easily. I mean, this does really great damage. I can go over here to the stinky Groot over here and just absolutely rip them apart. Sorry, Groot, I know we're friends since I'm Rocket Raccoon, but yeah, you can easily just rip apart tanks. And this will get tanks to back off very quickly. You can also just, and you don't have to just kill tanks. I mean, hell, if you find the window to, your team's stable enough, you find the window to be great. Hey, this Moon Knight's up here, giving my team trouble. Dash up here. Boom! I'm right up in his face, railing him with my minigun. Yeah, that's not a fun window for the Moon Knight to be in. Being in close proximity with the Rocket Raccoon means the Rocket Raccoon is going to have a lot harder time missing shots. And again, as you see here, yeah, it's really a lot of DPS. So pretty gnarly for the offensive side of Rocket Raccoon. His mobility is absolutely great. I mean, having mobility allows you to play so much more looser and free than characters that don't have mobility. And being a healer with mobility is amazing. You're able to find angles that you normally couldn't find if you're another healer. If my Groot, if my team's getting walled off by the enemy Groot, alright, Groots are annoying, constantly walling you off, you're separating the tanks from the healers, I don't care about that, because I can just crawl up a wall, I can dash up if I want to, and boom, I'm up in the air. I can heal my team if I really need to. I can, hey, rain fire from above. It's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. And as you saw there, I have 2 ways to enable my mobility. I can wall crawl, or I can dash. Dash 10 meters forward. It has 2 charges with a 6-second recharge timer. Wall crawl is pretty amazing. No stamina on my wall crawl. Gives me about, 10 meters distance compared to my normal walk speed, which is 6 meters. So, pretty damn nice. Really cool. Your dash is directional, forward direction, meaning you can't strafe and dash, you can't backpedal and dash, you're only strafing forward. So yeah, you also saw I have a slow fall, has no stamina or fuel attached to it, I'm just slow falling to the ends of time. Mobility is super awesome. Alright, you can engage fights, you can disengage fights very easily. It's almost impossible to kill a Rocket Raccoon. Your revive. This is the main star of the show. Revive, being able to revive a teammate is just absolutely incredible. It means that while your revive beacon is up, your team, or I shouldn't say your team, but people that are naturally going to be in this more sketchy positions, like your tanks, DPS that are finding angles on high ground that you normally couldn't probably heal them at those angles, means those players can play a bit more frisky, knowing that they're going to be revived soon. 50-meter radius, which is a long radius, by the way, revives them at full HP, full ammo. It's as if they never left. Pretty great. You also see that my beacon is also dispensing these armor pads. Armor pads give you 25 extra health. It also dispenses these jump pads, which give you a really high, really high jump. And this has saved my butt so many times on other healers, like my Cloak and Dagger or Luna Snow. Hey, this Panther is looking at me. I can't outrun a Panther. I can, once my Cloak is gone, I can't do anything against this Panther besides blind him. And as Luna Snow, I gotta actually walk before my passive kicks in. Boom! I have the pass. I have my jump. Boom! See you later, Panther, and I am gone. It's such a unique little skill. Very good. But the revive itself is just absolutely amazing. Again, this distance is absolutely incredible. Be it your tanks or flankers that are going to be in the 50-meter radius, that life is just a bit more free. You can be a bit more loose. Or hey, if something happens where you get caught at a bad angle and they die, so what? You can be revived and we can pick off right where we started. It has a duration on it. Doesn't have duration on it. I mean a cooldown. It has a cooldown of 45 seconds, which is its max cooldown. If I am to recall it, it'll put it on a 5-second cooldown before I can actually place it again. If someone decides to kill it, it'll forcibly put it on a 45-second cooldown. If I recall it when someone's attacking it, it'll be put on cooldown based on how strong my beacon was when I recalled it. So the higher HP, lesser the cooldown. The weaker the HP, the higher the cooldown. So yeah, pretty cool. This is the main star of the Rocket Racoon, which is your revive beacon. Your team up is absolutely amazing. Your team up of infinite ammo is probably one of the most dangerous, probably the best, one of the best team ups in the game. It's very good that it's available to a healer. So infinite ammo is faster fire rate with infinite ammo for the Bucky and the Punisher. And that window is dangerous. It's almost like a mini ultimate. You have to respect it. It's dangerous when facing it. It's amazing when you're the one causing it. It's just so much damage, so much offense, especially if you're a backline rusher or anyone who's going to be in close proximity. If you're a Panther or anyone who is in close proximity with a Punisher of infinite ammo, I mean, you kiss your lucky stars goodbye because you are dead. The minute this Punisher wants to turn around with his infinite ammo, you're done. You just disengage the fight, don't int, don't stagger, just run away. Combining this with your ultimate is just lethal. Lethal. It's such a high DPS window, especially if you're getting pocketed. Now combining this, going a step further, going even further beyond Super Saiyan 3, going even further beyond, if you're combining this with infinite ammo, your own ultimate, and the rocket ultimate of the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, that, in my opinion, if not, is probably the most lethal window in the game. Punisher ultimate with infinite ammo with Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, that can 100% kill through maybe not Luna ultimate, but any Cloak ultimate, especially if she's not defensively stacking it. Mantis ult, Invisible Woman ult, that is the most lethal window, in my opinion, one of the most lethal windows in the game. Yarn Amplifier, Judgment, and Infinite Ammo, it's just too good. It's too good. It's such a powerful window. Combining when all the stars align, such a powerful window. Now, going over the cons I see with Rocket, one of them is the inability to do damage because of a lack of healing. Now, this is why you play triple support. It enables you to do a bit more damage, but it still stands that it's hard to do damage as a Rocket because of a lack of healing, and other factors as well. But not having any real throughput cooldowns to utilize throughout the entire game makes it harder to do damage. Your basic heal, I think, is actually one of the best basic heals in the game. Repair mode, 8 spheres. These spheres do 70 HPS. There's no limit to there's no cap on how many targets it heals. There's no healing drop-off as well when healing X amount of targets. It's great. 70 HPS, slows down when it comes into contact with your allies, and then continues to exist for the next 6 seconds. Dishing out its healing effect. Really nice. Builds up your ult really fast. It's really great. But as your only heal, it's a little bit lame being your only heal. So that's obviously the direction they want to keep with Rocket, is having his basic heal be the start of the show in terms of his healing. Cool. Have active skills that influence that. Have an active skill that increases your repair mode by 10 health for like 6 seconds for the next 6 seconds on a 15-second cooldown. Something simple like that would make his HPS just a lot better. Or maybe even add a passive to where if you're below a certain threshold of health, that your repair mode will do more healing or tick faster. Something like that would just be a lot better. Because as it is right now, I mean, you literally just have to hold right click the entire game, because the minute the damage starts to get any more than the basic damage of their auto attacks, that's when you have a hard time recovering. Because what happens when the Namor wants to right click, or the Hela wants to right click, it's going to be damage that these healing spheres are not going to out heal or recover from. So you need to have some form of throughput, and you don't have that. You don't have the Dagger Storm. You don't have the regeneration domain. Also, to topple that fact, other healers have just damage baked into their normal rotation. Loki's Mystic Missiles, or Magic Missiles, whatever you call it. Mystic Missiles do damage and do healing. Also splash damage and splash healing. So I don't even have to hit the bloody target in order to actually do the damage I want. It's pretty cool. So these healers have damage just baked into their natural rotation. It's very nice when you really think about it, how free and easy it is. Again, Luna Snow has Ice Arts. Ice Arts that pierces through enemies and allies for the next 6 seconds, and there's no cap on it either. Pretty damn amazing. You don't have that as the Rocket Raccoon. You're very just limited to what you can do. And you may be like, well, what do you mean you can't do damage based on your lack of healing? I see Rocket Raccoons doing like 50,000 healing the entire game. Rocket is not a serious healer he's not a healer I care too much about the stats for. And the reason why is because his stat line does not reflect how the game played out. Sure, did I have 50,000 healing? Yeah. Did I have 31 assists? Of course, it's awesome. That's kind of like the standard stat line for Rocket Raccoon. You're more than likely going to have the most assists, and you're probably going to have the most healing. But did it feel like I had the most healing? Did my team feel safe with 50,000 healing? No. It felt like we were dying the whole game. I feel like we weren't safe. I feel like we didn't win any of these engagements, even though I had a lot of assists. I feel like we didn't get the picks that we needed. I feel like I was just behind on healing the whole game, because Rocket Raccoon's healing is pad healing. It's not impact healing. These spheres do nothing for my team. My team does not feel safe pushing in or feel safe recovering with these healing spheres. They don't, because I can see that my Mystic Missiles are clearly bringing my team's HP up from this health to that health, even though it may not look super good on the charts. But I can clearly see that these Mystic Missiles do a ton of healing. I can see that. I can see that these chain heals do a ton of healing. I can see that this Soul Bond makes my entire team immortal. It may not look that great on the charts, but I can clearly see the effect it has. Compared to Rocket, where what I'm seeing is my team's HP not going up when I'm dumping these healing spheres on their face. You see what I'm saying here? There's a difference between pad healing and impact healing. Rocket, pad healing. Other healers, impact healing. So that's one of the cons I have with Rocket. One of them is armor pads. I feel like armor pads just don't get any value. I feel like the minute you hop out of the starting room, you're never going to see these armor pads again. Which kind of sucks. I thought that was going to be like the different, like the flavor to kind of separating healers, not making them all copy pasta, which is to make Rocket work with some form of bonus health throughout the game. No, you're never going to see these armor pads again when you hop out of the starting room, because your beacon's going to be in a secluded area, in an elevated area, in a building, away from the team fight, because I don't want my beacon to die. And because my beacon is away from the fight, you're not going to see the armor pads that it dispenses. So maybe make it so instead of dropping armor pads, it simply just gives your team, who is in the 50-meter radius, 25 extra health, refreshing it every 20 seconds, I think would be pretty cool, and having it only dispense the jump pads. The jump pads are pretty cool. I actually really do like the jump pads. And I don't really know how to incorporate it to make it more accessible. But the bonus health, yeah, I think it should just make it so if you're in the 50-meter radius, it'll give your entire team who's in the radius 25 extra health, refreshing every 20 seconds or so. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, armor pads feel like they don't get any value when you hop out the starting room. So I'd really like to see their presence be more attuned or attended to. Next is no active skills. This falls in line to what I was going to talk about in the first half, but in the first con. But yeah, no active skills. I mean, again, active skills are important, whether it's for healing or for offense. I mean, imagine not having the force physics to push the Moon Knight off the height, or to get the storm out of the sky with the psionic vortex. Imagine that. You know, these active skills have so much impact on the overall pacing of the game, and when you don't have them, it feels just so slow. Like, imagine if you didn't have a Terror Cape. This one skill alone has won me more fights than all of the 50 hours I've played on Rocket. You know, this one skill has done me more justice than all the 58 hours I've played with Rocket. You know, Terror Cape is an absolute banger of a skill. Just imagine if you didn't have that. You know, imagine if you didn't have the sleep for the Mantis, or the absolute zero of the Luna Snow. Those active skills play such an important role in how the game just plays out when there's no ultimates. Even with ultimates, I mean, hell, being able to freeze or sleep Doctor Strange, hitting you with the Eye of Agamotto, nasty. You don't have that capability as Rocket. You don't have any active skills. All I have is my stupid beacon, which is very strong, and then my dash. I don't have anything else to. I don't have no traps. I don't have no kind of static charge from BO3. I have no thermite grenade. I got nothing. I got nothing. You would think a Junkrat healer would have all these gizmos and gadgets to help me with my offense and my defensive capabilities. Nope. I'm just sitting here with my little machine gun, just dumping out these ceiling spheres and praying for the day I can do damage while throwing my revive beacon somewhere. To me, Rocket Raccoon doesn't feel finished. He doesn't feel finalized with what his toolkit should be. I don't think he's finished yet, because I look at Overwatch, and I don't play Overwatch, I never did, but I still looked at the heroes to see what heroes inspired which, and it looks like Rocket Raccoon's inspiration, in terms of his playstyle, comes from Baptiste. I think that's his name, the black guy with the damn medical gear on. His skills are very similar. The immortality field is supposed to be, or the BRB is supposed to be the immortality field, making your team immune to death so long as the device is still active. The amplification core is supposed to resemble the amplification matrix, which enhances or doubles the effect of any projectile that passes through the matrix. Your biotic launcher is supposed to be like my bombard mode and my repair mode in one. My right click is dispenses the splash healing, whilst the right click dispenses the 3-shot burst rifle. So again, very similar style, and Rocket Raccoon just isn't on that level yet. He doesn't have the capability like the Baptiste. He doesn't have anything in his toolkit other than the revive beacon. Other than that, I'm just simply running around, throwing my healing spheres, placing an infant ammo for my Bucky. That's really it. I have nothing to do really for myself throughout the entire game, besides just using my basic attack and my basic heal. No active skills, just makes the game really slow from my point of view. I have no way to influence the outcome of the game. You know, like the Invisible Woman pushing the Squirrel Girl, the Moon Knight, off the height, or the Luna freezing the healer, or freezing the Black Panther rushing her backline. You know, or the Mantis sleeping this guy, or the Adam Warlock randomly one-tapping somebody with this Cosmic Cluster. You don't have any of those active skills, which is a bit unfortunate. No defensive ultimate. I mean, that's the biggest jerk off of them all. No defensive ultimate. 40% damage increase, 20-meter radius, has 800 health, so your ultimate can be killed. A little bit unfortunate. Last 8 seconds. Luna Snow's Fate of Both Worlds does incredible HPS, lasts 12 seconds, you can move with it, you're CC immune, and also can swap to your secondary effect, which boosts your team's DPS by 40%, whilst in the radius of it. So it's a little bit of a jerk off shoulder jerk when my ultimate is just a knockoff version of a Popstar's ultimate. It's a little bit unfortunate. So how do you make it better? Well, I don't think they're going to add defensive capabilities to the ultimate, which sucks, because again, they want to strafe away from, copy pasta of having every ult do the same thing. Fine, find another way for it to have damage or have defensive capabilities for my team. Damage reduction, so long as you're under the effects of my amplification core, you take 30% reduced damage, 40% reduced damage. I don't know, you make up the numbers. But just the way it is right now, having no defensive capability, it's a bit rough. Because, ironically, you would think that the ultimate that enhances your team's DPS would be a very potent walking ultimate to where you can apply pressure, you would think that'd be the case, but in reality, it's the ultimates that heal you, like the Cloak and Dagger, like the Mantis, like the Luna Snow, like the Invisible Woman, that actually give you more walking space and more pressure to do what you want than the ultimate that enhances your team's DPS, because in that window, you can actually stay alive with those ultimates compared to your amplification core. You only simply just have 40% extra damage. If you're not getting the picks you want, you can still definitely get one tapped by the Namor on the enemy team, even when they don't have the 40% DPS boost on their side. So, it's just really a bit sketchy. So, having it just not give you any damage reduction, no healing whatsoever, no bonus health, and just having it simply just be damage increase is a little bit troll. And when you get to like the higher ends, it just feels, again, it's just out of place. And if they really wanted to bank on it being a really offensive ult, they would add some form of other attack modifiers for it. Maybe giving you faster reloads or faster attack speed, or adding some other modifier or enhancement. Attaching a slow to your attacks, attaching a damage over time to your attacks. Hell, making the field itself, slow the enemy team or damaging the enemy team over time. I don't know, but your ult is just so easily counterable that it just kind of makes it a joke, really. Amplification core, I mean, hey, when I hear the Rocket Racoon, this is real firepower, you know what I do? I do this. I just LOS it the whole time. I peek over, hey, give my team the healing spheres, throw a dagger storm next to, my tank, cool. And then I'm just back to LOSing. That's it. That's all I do. It's so counterable, and it just really does not make it super enticing to play the hero. But my ultimate is just complete dog butt. Now, again, it's more so of the fact that you have to combine it with your team's ultimates. More so teams that are obviously going to benefit greatly with the ultimate. Again, as I said earlier, the Punisher with infinite ammo and amplification core. Oh, I mean, it's such a no subscriber. It's such a potent window, and it can kill through a lot of ultimates, some good healing ultimates that aren't Luna Snow. But yeah, besides that, it's just has a very weak design, and I really wish they could kind of tamper with it just a bit more to really finalize it. Like I said, I just don't think Rocket Racoon is finalized yet. I don't think he's finished. So until they really fine-tune his weak spots to really make it so they're functioning kind of properly, then I could see some great Rocket Racoon success. But as he is right now, I don't think he's a bad healer. I just don't think he's finished yet. That's all I have to say about him. I think what you're seeing more nowadays, you see maybe you have some of those Jeffs in your lobbies that are playing like those flank Jeff playstyles where they have two healers, they're running double support. The two healers are keeping the team fight alive, and the Jeff is just running around, just being annoying and peppering the backline with his damage, because Jeff does do a good amount of damage. You can play like that a little bit with Rocket Racoon. If you have triple support, you can kind of just dash anywhere you want and simply just pepper them with the minigun. And it actually is pretty cool. I do that a lot in some of my games, but it's like, you really have to trust your two healers. And also, at that point, it's like, wouldn't you just rather have an actual DPS to do that? That's dedicated job is to do that and do it much more efficiently than you. It is an interesting playstyle, but it is something that you can see a lot and find some good success in, especially if you're just going unnoticed in a lot of those matches. But yeah, I think standard overall. I think Rocket Racoon, I don't think he's a bad healer. I really don't. I think you can find some good success. I think his Amp Core can turn the fight. I think his Revive Beacon can turn the fight. But yes, I do think he lacks healing. He lacks active skills. He lacks throughput. And I just feel like he has some weird mechanics with how his stuff functions. The armor pads, the ultimate value of your amplification core, as cool as it is, there's still some tweaks that I would love to see get fixed or really be improved on. So yeah, I really don't think he's a bad healer. I just don't think he's finalized yet. So guys, hope you all enjoyed the video, and of course if you did, leave a like rating down below, chuck, subscribe my way, and if you really did like the video, you gotta click the link in the description, as it does take you to a playlist of all my Marvel Rivals content. So, hope you all had an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next life, alright? Peace!